Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're live. Welcome to the Danza Project presents the Trip to Orlando show. Go live every Tuesday, like we do it always this time. Bring y'all the story of the week. Bring y'all the TV show review of the week. And I bring y'all the movie of the week. And without any further ado, if you're coming here for the first time, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you've been here before, you know what time it is. It's time for this theme song.
Feeling the weight
Yeah.
like a suitcase of stress.
Let's go.
Time to pack it up and leave the mess.
All right.
Hop on a ride to a brighter glow.
It's
not just a trip, it's the ultimate show. Trip to Orlando, the getaway you need. Laughs and reviews at lightning speed.
Come on.
Trip to Orlando where fun runs free. Your ticket to the stars and celebrity.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you and welcome to the Trip to Orlando show. I'm your host, Orlando, brought to you on the Danza Project. Like my dog Danza say, it's more than just a podcast, it's a network. And the Trip to Orlando show is just one of the many pieces of content that you can find on this network. So, with no further ado, we got to get into the story of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's Thanksgiving. Shout out to everybody who had a good Thanksgiving. I know I had a good Thanksgiving myself, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my dog Tiger. KP fried the fuck out that turkey. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty sure we all had a good Thanksgiving. All of us except the one named Ray J. Ray J. And I'm gonna be honest right now. Full disclosure, full transparency. Let you know from the top. Ain't no Ray J slander going on in here. I fuck with my dog Ray J, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ray J is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. And if you my age or around that age, you know what I'm talking about. Because we remember Ray J when he was just Brandy's little brother. You know what I'm saying? When he just came up on Moesha from time to time, talking about, where's the party? And all them way there. You know what I'm saying? And then the nigga drop a song, fuck around with Neptunes and all that, but wait a minute. Little Kim on the shit, the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? And we like, damn, Ray J turning the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And then just when like Ray J start cooking all that crazy shit, that's when the nigga drop the sex tape of all sex tapes. The one that turned Kim Kardashian from a closet stylist to what she is right now. Global icon, the whole family rich off of Ray J back. No Ray J slander in on this bitch today. Tell you that right now. Ray J is the GOAT, right? So after all of that, my boy learned to capitalize on that. Go on VH1. What we get? Ray J of Love. Season 1. Ray J of Love. Season 2. Solidified himself. My boy Ray J, bro. And we seen all of this happen from the late 90s up through the 2000s. And then Ray J get quiet a little bit, chill out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then what he do? Go live on Breakfast Club. Turn Breakfast Club from a regular morning show to the #1 urban morning show of all times. And if you was there, you remember that shit. My boy Ray J called it, Charlamagne, we live, and start going crazy on this shit and talk about Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Hit you with the indoor pool, outdoor pool. Hit you with the indoor tennis court, outdoor tennis court. All that shit. Viral master, bro. If there's anything that you fuck with about the internet, trust me, Ray J was there. And then even after all of that, Ray J said, you know what? Time for turn businessman now. And we get the Ray J Aircon earbuds. You know about them? The Raycon earbuds. My boy took that shit. We thought Beats sold all the earphones, pills, speakers, and all this shit. Ray J said, nah, bro. Hold my beer. We have some Raycon earbuds for sale. And shit took off. You know what I'm saying? And even the marketing strategy, I don't know if that was him or whatever, but the real influencer marketing, yo, you got to give it to him. Ray J had an idea. He did it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just sold the network not the network, my bad. He sold the company in 2024 so he could start his own network. It's called like Tronix TV or something like that. So I'm just prefacing that. You know what I'm saying? Because it did hurt my heart when I see Ray J crash out. Like, I fuck with Ray J, bro. And shout out to Woody, right? Woody did some content with him. He said that Ray J kind of move away still. But I think it's really just that mentality that you get with especially like the younger streamers and YouTubers and shit, where they be like, yo, we finna go viral. Fuck whatever the situation is. We gonna do it all. I don't care. We'll figure it out after we get the views. So like, I never met him personally, but I believe, and I can understand him having that personality. But fuck that. Ray J's still the GOAT in my book. You feel me? So, like I said, it hurt my heart after I just got done eating the fried turkey. Shout out to my girl. She came through with the stuffing, the rice, the cornbread, all of that shit, cranberry sauce, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I wake up next day, talk about Ray J had a crash out. And not just a crash out, a ban from Twitch crash out. And I was like, come on, man. King Ray J? Nah. And then we seen the footage, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, shout out to Elo Yassin. You know what I mean? He be coming through with the fire content. But yeah, this is it right here. And my boy is loose, because I was just saying how he one of them people that will really put anything on the internet and just like go viral at all costs. But yo, Ray J is a revolutionary. So again, no Ray J slander. You know what I mean? I take all of that as part of the divine plan. You know what I mean? But this was wild. Like, to put on TV, to put live streaming is wild. So my boy Ray J, you know, shout out to you.
All right, seriously, cool. You need to.
You're not taking my son.
Ray.
Like, I know you're not taking my son.
Hey, don't touch him.
Hold on, bro. I swear to God, I'll shoot the fuck out of you.
Shoot
Y'all
me
get
right
out of
now.
my house.
Yo, that shit fucked me up. My boy said, yo, I'll shoot the fuck out you. On Twitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Ray J. Like, bro, come on.
You pointed a gun at us.
I didn't point nothing at y'all.
You pointed a gun at us.
Yeah, whatever.
You pointed a gun at us.
Why are you waking my daughter up?
You pointed a gun at us.
Why did you just wake my daughter up?
You pointed a gun at us.
Why did you just wake my daughter
All
up?
I wanted to do was have a good Thanksgiving.
Why did you wake my daughter up?
Ray.
Because you're selfish.
You're delusional.
You're drunk.
You're a woman abuser.
You're
and
drunk.
You're delusional.
I'm a woman. That's
yes,
what drunk
you
people
are.
say. Like, you're taking my daughter?
Grow the fuck up.
All right,
seriously,
cool.
you need to.
You're not taking my son.
Ray.
Like, I know you're not taking my son. Hey,
Don't touch him.
Hold on, bro. I swear to God, I'll shoot the fuck out of you. Y'all get
Hey, I don't promote domestic violence, but when Buddy put his hands, he said, bro, I'll shoot the fuck out you. Yo. Shout out to King Ray J. My boy said, I'll shoot the fuck out you, bro. I don't condone none of that shit.
out of my house. Y'all get out of my house.
Shoot me right now.
Oh, I swear to God,
Shoot me right now.
take my son.
No.
I hate you over the fucking here, bro.
Hey, you supposed to be family.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. You're doing my house.
Hey.
So peep the fact that he had the wherewithal to turn the camera off, but you let the audio keep rolling, and that chat is going bananas. You know what I'm saying? So my boy is the king of the viral moment. I don't condone none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, no Ray J slander. None whatsoever. These are just poor decisions in the moment.
Bro,
Stop. Okay. I know you will, but stop. I'm trying to help you out.
All right, cool.
We good? Yep. Literally, they're probably gonna pull up right now. Let's chill.
Cool. All right, cool.
Literally. Yep, we cool. All right, let go. Let go. Let's chill. I'm trying to help you out. Let's go. Let's just get out here. They really have to get out right now. Watch your door right now.
I got a gun on me.
I'm trying to help you.
Hey, Ray J's that nigga, man. He's like, yo, calm down, man. The kids is here. Everything, like, just relax, yo. He said, all right, cool, but I got my gun on me. I mean, so don't fuck around. I got my gun on me. Stop the shit. But again, I don't condone none of this. Ray J, you're tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I get it.
Get out of here, bro. If I shoot you. I don't want to. I would never
He said, get out of here before I shoot you. I don't want to. I would never, but I'll shoot the fuck out you.
do that. Bro, I still shoot the fuck out of you, bro.
I will shoot the shit out you. You got to hear this nigga now. I will shoot the shit out you. And that's where it gets really, really wild. But again, I don't condone none of that shit. And you shouldn't be doing none of that in front of your kids. I don't care what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to have that type of argument. And I don't know much about his baby mother or whatever, but as far as I'm concerned, she's just as much as fault as him. You feel me? She was obviously provoking the situation. She came over there with a dude. He was claiming that they was drinking. Like, that's typical hood shit that goes on, and people like to act out during the holidays. But what makes it different is not everybody do that shit live on Twitch. That shit is wild, Ray J. Like, I guess never one to miss out on content. But that shit got him banned like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Banned from Twitch. They said, yo, get out of here. You're not talking about what he said. I'll shoot the fuck out you. Then back again, yo, I got a gun on me, bro. And then one more time, I'll shoot the shit out you. So those are like terroristic threats. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they're out in Cali somewhere. I don't know if any of that stand your ground shit works out there or if that means anything to anybody. But, you know, he did get detained and they did let him go because I guess, you know, whatever. But Twitch wasn't feeling that shit. And I'm going to give you another controversial opinion. Ray J don't need Twitch. You feel me? King Ray J is bigger than Twitch. Because Twitch, unpopular opinion, is overrated. For real. Twitch is overrated. It is. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to keep going, bro. Like, to be honest with you, streaming itself is in a bubble. I hate to break it to you. It's in a bubble. So if you think you finna be the next Kai Cenat, Neon, or wherever the fuck, them days is over with, bro. Like, give it up. Like, yo, I love coming live. I'm sure there's a lot of people that love doing this shit. Like, if you love the game and you love doing it like that, by all means, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is that them meteoric rises and huge streams and all that crazy shit that you see going on, there's a generation of that's doing that, and that generation is basically done with it. Because the Twitch business model is not going to perpetuate that. Like, it's not YouTube. I was having a discussion with a young man the other day. Shout out to Savion. And, you know, he's a younger guy. And he was basically telling me from like, I don't want to say the YN point of view, but the YN point of view, right? And he's basically telling me, he's like, bro, Twitch is the YouTube of streaming. Streamers right now are at an all-time high. And we interviewed 6ix9ine, bro. We the ones that got the clip where 6ix9ine's basically saying how streamers are the hottest shit. Kids want to be streamers, so on and so forth. I'm not saying none of that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? But I'm old. I've been here for a while. I remember a time when every motherfucker wanted to be a rapper. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember a time in the 90s where records were selling crazy, early 2000s where people was getting big bags, production deals, all types of deals. The music industry was going crazy. And like anything else, it has its time and it passes. And I'm just trying to be honest with y'all from what I see, especially with Twitch itself as a platform. It has a shelf life, bro, like anything else. It's not going to last forever. And a lot of times when you're looking at the peak of something, you don't really understand it's the peak until after some time has passed, you get perspective like, oh shit, damn. 2023 was kind of raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, time needs to pass by for you to understand that shit. And that's the same thing that's happening with Twitch. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is that YouTube is a totally different beast than Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube's long form content and the fact that they're owned by Google and the fact that their structure, their business model is placed on ad revenue first and then subscription-based models after that, means that they're actually positioned to do very well for a long time. Their user base is growing. They've gone through their growing pains through the quote-unquote ad apocalypse, but YouTube is totally different from Twitch. Twitch, on the other hand, still has a large parent company. It's owned by Amazon, but the idea and the business model is actually reversed, where Twitch makes most of its money off of subscriptions and then subsidizes that with actual ad revenue. So basically, YouTube get all their money through ads and then subscription services or paid subscriptions, and then Twitch do the exact opposite. Twitch get their money through paid subscriptions, and then they get some extra on the ad side. Now I'll give you one guess. Which company you think is more profitable? Or which company you think is profitable? It's fucking YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube by a country mile. You know what I'm saying? Twitch is not profitable. It's growing, but the business model itself and the fact that they've been acquired by Amazon is actually fucking them all the way up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they've had to change the way they do things. And I give you an example, like Adin Ross. He got kicked right off of Twitch, went to Kick, which is owned by the gambling company Stake. So they got a whole different business model altogether, and he's doing just fine. And the point I'm trying to make is that Ray J, King Ray J, will outlast this Twitch ban. He's even, he started his own television network or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? He could easily leverage that to some other shit, because the technology that Twitch had, they basically sold that to Amazon, and their companies kind of fucked behind that. And you know me, I always look for shit that prove what I'm talking about. So I'll show it to you right now, as a matter of fact. Shout out to my guy here. He did a nice deep dive on this shit.
Twitch is chronically unprofitable, a fact its own CEO was forced to admit. For years, the company has blamed the high cost of streaming video. But that's not the whole story. The real reason is a strategy of internal corporate cannibalization. To understand it, you have to understand that when Amazon bought Twitch, it didn't just buy a website. It bought two incredibly valuable world-class technologies. The first was its video network, the best low-latency video delivery system on the planet. The second was...
So as he's breaking it down, there's two things to think about, right? When Google or Alphabet purchased YouTube, they bought it in like its infancy phase, because they seen the potential in it, and they actually nurtured it and made so that it was a viable company, to the point that YouTube is essentially like PBS. It's like a public broadcasting system, and it serves a literal good. Like, just about anybody can get on YouTube and make a video that they're passionate about, and they will find some sort of audience. Twitch, on the other hand, it started off as the gaming community and so on and so forth, and that's all great too. But once they got that corporate backing from Amazon, it wasn't coming from a benevolent place like, oh shit, we see this great company doing all these cool things for these gamers and make it. No, they're like, hold on, man. Y'all are streaming the fuck out that video, man. That shit is clean. We need to figure that one out so we can use that for our other services. And that's the real reason why Amazon bought Twitch. It wasn't to make it a better streaming platform. It's to exploit the services.
Was its specialized ad sales team, experts at integrating brands directly with creators. And like a corporate dragon hoarding treasure, Amazon took both for itself. The video network was ripped out, rebranded as Amazon IVS, and sold as a premium service through Amazon Web Services. the ad sales team was absorbed into a global Amazon ads division. Amazon essentially harvested Twitch's most profitable, high-margin parts and left the division as a hollowed-out shell. But here is where the
That whole process, they used to do that shit in the 80s when they do corporate mergers. They call that shit a raid and pillage in a company. You buy a company, strip it from its assets, and fuck if that shit do well after that. You sell it off afterwards because you don't got what you want. And that looks like exactly what's happening to Twitch. As much as y'all love that shit, I don't think it's for to be here that long, or at least not in its current form. You feel what I'm saying?
sabotage truly begins. Twitch, the division, is now forced to pay its own parent company for the very technology it invented. This is a neat little bit of corporate magic called transfer pricing. Essentially, you reach into your company's left pocket to pay out of your right pocket for a service. But
so that shit don't get lost on y'all. Let me break it down to you. Basically, Amazon buys Twitch. They're like, yo, you got this great way of streaming video. We like that shit. We gonna buy it from you. Let me get the patents. We gonna pay you. Da 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 da. We buy this shit, right? So Twitch is like, yeah, that's what's up. You can use our proprietary streaming functionality. So cool. So now, once Twitch becomes part of Amazon, when Twitch wants to use the streaming capability that they invented, Amazon say, hold up, that's our shit you about to use. But Twitch is like, hold up, we invented that. They're like, it don't matter if you invented it, we own it. So if you want to use it, you still got to pay us. They're like, hold up, we got to pay y'all for the shit we sold to y'all so we can use it again. And they were like, exactly.
the right pocket charges a premium. So the left pocket ends up broke while the right pocket posts record profits. This is what Amazon did to Twitch, creating a paper loss, which then becomes the perfect corporate justification for austerity, layoffs, hiring freezes, and the creator pay cuts it had blamed on server costs that were being paid to its own parent company. The costs are verifiable based on public AWS pricing. A single 8-hour stream to 10,000 viewers can cost nearly $6,000. This creates a financial straitjacket where paying customers can actually become a net loss for the company. But the most
Y'all hear that? Paying customers can become a net loss for the company, but the majority of their revenue comes from paying customers. So what the fuck? That means that we're just losing money twice. Shit's crazy. It's just a flawed model, guys.
most destructive evidence of this sabotage is found by asking a simple question. Who are the biggest customers of Amazon IVS? The answer? Twitch's direct rivals. Even back when Facebook Gaming was a major competitor, it was built on the back of IVS. Today, Kick, the platform poaching Twitch's biggest stars, also runs on Amazon IVS. This is the ultimate act of corporate cannibalization.
Yeah, he called it corporate Why I can't say that? He called it corporate cannibalization, but we call it backdooring. They bought the company to use their streaming technology and then sold the shit to everybody else and charged them so they could use it. A big bully move that. And that is why I feel King Ray J don't need Twitch. I'm telling you. He did it before, he did it again. Ray J gonna survive. It just is what it is. So it don't matter. I know all this shit look crazy.
Twitch chat scrolling up
But
on probation.
at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Ray J ended up getting out. See, we got the footage on this video right here. Whatever. Well, the updates, Ray J's fine, bro. Ray J's fine. Ray J will be fine. It's just Twitch. Twitch I ain't sure about. You know what I'm saying? We probably got that one generation of the Kai Cenats and the Show Speeds and the Neons, or well, I don't even think Neons is on Twitch. But yeah. So don't fall in love with that shit, guys. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, the other platforms, they're all still here. I think it all works better when we have more of a choice. Kind of like with social media, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's not that many choices, you still got Instagram versus Twitter or X. You still got the Snapchat if you want into that. You got the Blue Skies, the whatever. But the idea is that there's a little bit of diversity of choice. And that's all I'm saying. I think that Twitch is not going to be the dominant streaming platform forever. And if streaming itself is going to last for a while, there needs to be some sort of diversity of platforms other than just Kick and Rumble or wherever else. But that's how I feel. That's my opinion. It is what it is. We going to see it if the old man is right. But I ain't going to lie to you. I probably will be right. All right. So moving on. We got to do the show of the week, man. You know, I'm still rocking with my show, It. Let me back this up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the show's fire, guys. It is. Not gonna lie, it is. But I did kind of go, whoa, shit. I did go kind of tough on it last week because episode 5 kind of was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Episode 6, a little bit better. We're getting there. You know what I'm saying? Some nice setups to some cool things. And, you know, they introduced a new villain. You know. So it's what I would expect from a TV show like this. Now, as far as the character goes, they did explain some of the asinine shit that the kids did in episode 5. Like, why did everybody want to meet up at the sewer at the same time? And even though the military was supposed to be looking for the 13 pillars, they didn't even make it to that one pillar. So, and then again, the shit that bothered me the most is my boy, this Native American tribal warrior who's brought up to learn about the It monster and how to defeat it, and his people have learned to contain it. This nigga gonna drop the fucking knife when it count. And then in episode 6, we never hear from him again. Like, so I don't know. He just dropped it and kept it moving. After he escaped from being captured by the military and having his mind fucked by what's his name? Dick Halloran. He went through all this shit just to drop the one weapon that could kill the It monster when it counted the most, when he was in the sewer with the shit. And we don't know what happened to him. Episode 5, he ran away. Episode 6, we don't hear from him. So that's like the only thing that, well, there's a couple other things. That is one thing. That's the main thing. I'm like, what happened to the Indian guy? Like, come on, man. Not only did you drop the shit, but you disappeared. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be the keeper of Derry, protecting all the people from the It monster, and you drop the knife, the one weapon that can kill it, in episode 5, and then you disappear episode 6. So we got to do a little bit better than that. And if that's the case, I don't know, man. Some sloppy ass writing. And then the other thing that I really kind of take a little issue with in episode 6 was the dagger itself, the meteorite, something that was supposed to be able to kill the It monster. For whatever reason, it start make people act crazy. So like the little girl get it and she just walk around with the shit, and then she just like keep it on her lap at school, and then it make her cuss people out. And I'm like, is this the weapon that you was using? Like, I thought this shit was supposed to help you out. Because it didn't affect the Native Americans like that at all. They live with the shit. The one lady had it in her underwear drawer for years. So I don't understand how now all of a sudden, when the people really need the shit, you know what I'm saying, not only do it glow and do all this crazy stuff, but now it makes the person who's using it go crazy. Just a weird plot thread. But I don't know. We'll see. There's 2 more episodes left. I think I'm invested now. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to not watch the last 2 episodes after I done watch the first 7 or 8 or whatever it is. But I'm just wondering, because they've been foreshadowing what's going to happen, really. They have this military base lounge, something called the Black Spot. Real creative name, right? It's where all the niggas hang out. They call it the Black Spot, right? And supposedly, according to It lore, it's in the book, it's all type of shit, that that Black Spot gets burned down, and there's like some big riot, and this show in general, I guess, is explaining all of the events that led up to that. So we kind of know where it's going. But as far as the things I do like about this episode, they introduced a new character. Like the one chick who's been kind of messing with the kids, she turned out to be in league with the monster, and she got her own little backstory, and they went into that, and that was pretty cool. And it wasn't big on the jump scares or nothing crazy this episode, but it did have, you know what I'm saying, some monsters and some cool shit. So it was like a good mix. It was a good mix of the horror theme. You know what I mean? They had this little scene where I don't know what they be doing to kids in the series though. Like in this series, these kids have gotten high twice. They've gotten, I'm talking young kids, bro, like 12, 13-year-olds. They done took Percocets and Valiums and shit twice. And then in this episode, a couple of them done got drunk. You know what I'm saying? Beating rum and coke inside of the black spot. So that was kind of crazy. Like these kids keep on getting fucked up episode after episode. And they'd be like, oh yeah, this stupid pop some Valium is gonna work. And the shit don't be working. They still see the fucking monster. They just be high as fuck see the monster. So why, bro? Why is that even a thing in this show? But whatever. So again, kids getting intoxicated is a theme. So they had the black spot, but the little Hispanic one, Richie, my boy can play drums and shit. So that shit was kind of fire. And he's got his little relationship with the girl. And that's actually, it's kind of cute, man. Not gonna lie. I do like that part. But overall, I say it's an improvement from episode 5. Is it as good as the other 4? Yeah, I guess so. This whole plot of hiding one of the girl's father, because in the first episode, when the kids died, one of the girl's fathers was accused of the murder. So it's been a running plot thread of him escaping and hiding out and da-da-da-da. And the reason why he won't tell the truth is because he's with a white woman. And that same white woman is the one who's also a villain too. So it's like a weird thing. And, you know, she kind of old still, you know what I'm saying? I know they used to go crazy for white bitches back then, but it's kind of old, bro. Like, even for the show, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of weird. But whatever. It is what it is. I fuck with the show. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? If you like Bunny and Cliff and horror movies and, you know, a little bit of Stephen King lore, it still does the trick. It's not like it's completely turning me off. It's just a couple foolish things in it. And I'm going to continue to point out them shits because I don't think they're going away. But according to whatever, they're saying that this shit is supposed to be like 3 seasons, which each taken in different time periods. So this is one time period. And then I guess next season they go back to 1935, which they alluded to in this episode. And then there's another, I guess, 1908 version. But whatever, we'll see. I'm a Stephen King fan. I'm going to watch all this shit. It's pretty decent regardless. You know what I'm saying? Other than some narrative flaws. But I feel like the way Hollywood got to crank out these scripts and beat AI and do all this other shit, we just going to see flawed work. And that's just part of it. Because if not, we would have to wait, Stranger Things amount of time between seasons. But yeah, I still like it. We going to see where the next 2 episodes go. If they're trash, I'm definitely going to tell you trash. And I'm going to tell you passionately because I'll be like, no, I did not watch this shit for 2 months for the last episode to be kind of corny. Nah. So if you fuck with it, if you watching it, let me know. Hit me up. Oh yeah, don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. Hit me up in the chat. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you think that Welcome to Derry is a vibe, if you like it. Because apparently the critics like it. It keeps on getting rave reviews. And it's not a bad show. I just think that the first 4 episodes were the peak. And I think trying to land the plane with all these different plot threads and all these characters is kind of like a mission. And we're going to see what they do with it. Because we might not see the Native Americans again. This nigga ran off the season in episode 5, and we might not. He might just feel so bad he dropped the knife, and that's that. Who knows? It is what it is. Moving along, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get you to the movie of the week. Now, this particular movie I've been hearing things about, you know what I'm saying? Good, some bad. So I was kind of hesitant to watch it. I was going to watch it last week, but the Kevin Hart documentary came out. And speaking of documentaries, next week, the Diddy documentary, because it drops tonight, so I'm more likely going to watch it tonight. So we go talk about 50 and all that shit, because that shit is crazy, you know what I'm saying? He got some behind-the-scenes footage of him talking to his lawyers and all this wild shit. But we're going to dig into that next week. But this week, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we have a little bit of culture still, you know? We're not really just all hip hop and da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we, you know, watch some elevated things, some things where, you know, you have to turn on the subtitles to make sure you catch everything and shit like that. Sometimes they speak in accents, you know, just, I like a wide breadth of things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. The Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, that is the movie of the week. And after watching it, I can kind of see why some people like it and why some people don't. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, but Hellboy, it was wicked. You know what I'm saying? And not gonna lie, was it Pan's Labyrinth? Had to turn on subtitles, but not bad. It did win an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? It did win some other awards for special effects and all that. Shape of Water, that shit won some shit too. Didn't see that one. But, you know, I'm a fan of the style. I'm a fan of like the way he do shit. So I was like, let's give Frankenstein a shot. So I'm trying to like speed it up so you don't copyright strike me, bro. Come on, Guillermo. You know, we fuck with your movie, bro. So first thing I got to tell y'all, which I did appreciate, is it's what they call visually stunning. You know what I'm saying? And normally that's like code for, yo, a movie's trash as fuck. Because normally when they tell you a movie visually stunning, that means the shit just look good, got some action, and that is what it is. But this one is like, for real, like it looks good, bro. If you got a giant 4K TV and your buns cliff, you gonna look at this shit, you gonna be like, damn, bro, this shit is clean, man. You know what I'm saying? So like the look alone of it is very like majestic and big, bro. So it's kind of wild that it's a Netflix movie, because I think in an actual movie theater on IMAX or whatever, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that definitely it has going for it. And the story itself, because I'm a horror movie fan. I'm not a big fan of Frankenstein movies per se, but I've seen a few of them. And, you know, like most of us, we kind of know like the basics of the story. Is a mad doctor, Victor Frankenstein. He decide he want to bring life to a dead corpse. So he puts together all this shit and they do the shock the thing and the monster go crazy and gets loose and whatever, right? That's like the nutshell of the story. But I got to give it to the movie. You know what I'm saying? I did my research and it's a lot more faithful to the novel than probably any other movie. And the question is, do you even give a fuck about that? You know what I'm saying? Are you the type of person that even thinks about shit like that while watching a movie? You know what I'm saying? Because I am. You know, sometimes I like to watch shit, and when I'm done, I'll be like, damn, I feel a little bit smarter than, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I learned something, or I feel like, damn, a little bit cultured, like I understand the gravity of the fact that this novel was written back in 1818, and now the story is still relevant because this 19-year-old woman that wrote it had the foresight, the imagination to put all these different themes into a horror story, or quote unquote a horror story, right? So like, if you think about it on that level, you appreciate movies on that level, this shit is for you. And that's how I feel about it. I'm like, all right, this shit is a very faithful adaptation of the Frankenstein story. But like, there was one that came out in 92 and with Robert De Niro and all that. And, you know, they all kind of turned to action movies at the end. Because the idea is that the monster gets away and starts running amok and fucking people up, which, you know, is great for a movie. I can understand why people do that. But there's a couple points that this movie tries to make, and it doesn't really do that. So I could see why people are like, yo, that shit kind of lame, bro, because it don't have a big climactic action ending. It has a lot of action in the beginning, which is what kind of gets you going. And then like they explain a lot of cool shit in the movie. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have like a big climax. It's more like philosophical. You know what I'm saying? Make you really like, damn, I wonder about the nature of being a human being. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't think like that and you just get high and whatever, and you're not that type of person, this shit might not be for you at all. But if you think about some questions, because there's some obvious parallels between the Frankenstein monster and artificial intelligence. And there's a movie, Ex Machina, that kind of did the same thing, but it was more on the nose. They made an artificial intelligent robot. But this is like a more of a, what's the word? I don't know. I can't think of the word. But like an example of, you know what I'm saying? And allegory is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I know big words too. This is more of an allegorical tale. Yeah. So it's like an allegory for artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only really been, there's this movie and then there's the other Frankenstein with Robert De Niro where the nigga could talk. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the part that most of the Frankenstein movies or representations throughout history leave out. That like, yo, the Frankenstein monster wasn't dumb. Like the nigga could read, he could talk, he could reason. And that was the thing. He starts having this debate with the doctor like, bro, and this shit does a good job of making Dr. Frankenstein an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So like in other adaptations, the monster gets vexed with the doctor because he wants to make him a bride, hence the Bride of Frankenstein, or like there's some other shit. But this movie kind of goes real in depth showing you why the monster don't fuck with Victor Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, the nigga had a chance to really show the monster how to do some wild shit, like how to read, how to write, how to be just this exceptional being amongst men. And he totally didn't do any of that. Treated them like shit to the point where you start rooting for the monster. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was cool. And then the other thing that I thought was really, really good about the movie is I don't know if the book itself, and there's a couple things that I know are different from the book, but I don't know if the book itself really went into the detail that the movie does, explaining how the science of this shit works. Like, I don't know if that whole system that they talk about in the movie is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it, like, I mean, I know the system, the lymphatic system that they kept talking about is real, but I don't know if shocking that shit actually does something. But like the way they break it down is like they make it seem like that shit's a real thing. And they go through step by step explaining why this don't work and this does work. And da-da-da-da-da, to the point where you're like, damn, all right, go ahead, Victor, bring the motherfucker to life. You don't explain the shit to me. So that was good too. I was like, this shit sound plausible. I know it's science fiction, but the way they're explaining it, there's a logic to this shit. Or there's a lore or a theory within the movie that they stick to. So because of that, it seems way more realistic because the movie sets up these rules that they're working by, and by those rules, this shit makes sense. It's kind of like, again, you got to be old as fuck, but if you've seen Back to the Future does the same thing. They'd be like, time travel works like this. And they'd be like, you got to reach 88 miles per hour with 1.1 gigawatts of this, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and then boom, we travel through time. And it never changed. They never bent that rule. They never did none of that shit. And the rule was so, even down to the paradox theory about seeing yourself, the rule was so well defined that shit was in other movies. They're like, well, this is the way time travel works. It was established in Back to the Future. That's what it is. So that's an example of having like a lore or a science or whatever, a fiction that is so well explained within the realm of your movie that it makes perfect fucking sense, even though it really don't make no fucking sense because there's no way you can travel through time. But Back to the Future explained that shit like it's real. Like, hey, this is what it is. And it's the same thing with Frankenstein. You can't bring dead motherfuckers to life, right? But the way they break it down in the movie, you be like, I don't know, it kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this shit was real, that would make a whole lot of sense. So, shout out to the movie for that. But yeah, bro, like, it's straight. Like, it's kind of long. But yeah, man, yo, well, if you getting a retwist, are you bunning a spliff, are you eating whatever, man, it's a vibe, bro. Like, it's cool. It make you think about some shit. It's very well put together. And there's a few things that are changed from the book to really drive the point home. And the point really is that The monster wasn't really the monster. The monster was actually the doctor. Because not only did he just really try to play God and really like go against nature, he was an asshole the whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even cool about it. You know what I'm saying? And he did all types of... If I watch it again, I could probably find like all 7 of the deadly sins in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he did commit murder. He did covet his brother's wife. He was envious. He was sloth. All that shit. All that shit. So Victor Frankenstein was a horrible person. And because of that, he literally created a monster. So there's a lot of, again, allegorical points that the movie drives home. Now, is it like a big action horror? Is it the Victor Frankenstein action movie or whatever the fuck that came out a few years ago? Nah, it ain't none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's actually, which Guillermo del Toro did get an award for not too long ago, it's actually more of like a Pinocchio story than anything else. Where like, you know, this monster just wants to be real. Actually, the monster wants to die. He created this immortal being, and the nigga's just like, bro, this is not what it is, bro. Why did you do this? So it's really about him trying to find a way to make the doctor atone for it, and he commits many, many sins along the way. But it's a deep movie, man. The shit make you think, and it's, even though there's a couple key elements that are different, I'm not really going to spoil that, but the way the story is structured, the way it looks, the way it sounds, everything is probably the most faithful adaptation you're gonna get of the book, because there's a whole story within the story aspect of it that no other adaptation has even tried to do, and this one does it well. It makes it part of the story, and again, the first half of the movie there's a whole bunch of crazy shit happening, and you're like, wow. And again, they're explaining how the rules of that world work. So I don't got nothing bad to say about it, man. Don't copyright strike me for playing a piece of the video either. You know what I mean? But that's what it is, man. So shout out to Guillermo del Toro. You know what I'm saying? Some people say they don't fuck with that movie, but I like it. This shit's clean, bro. You did a good job. I like that movie. You know what I'm saying? Pleasantly surprised, because I thought it was going to be trash. I was actually waiting for a while, because I was seeing a bunch of people like, yeah, it's good, but I was disappointed. And I'm like, maybe I'll wait. But I'm kind of glad I waited. Now I watched it. I was like, yeah, man, that shit's straight. So if you got a couple hours and you want to think a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Check it out, bro. Shit's straight. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to another conclusion of the Trip to Orlando show. And just the way I started is the way I got to end it, man. I got to run back that theme song for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for spending some time with me, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. I go live every Tuesday night. Come check me out. Comment. Let me know what you think about what I got to say. If you got any movie recommendations, TV show recommendations, because we only got 2 episodes left of it. So after that, I'm going to be looking for a new show. Danza say I should watch Power, but man, my nigga, I'm a nerd, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like nerdy ass shit, my nigga. I like watching shit that have like a fantasy element. Something that, you know, when I'm bunning this cliff, I really be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That shit's cool. Cause like, for instance, Snowfall, for example, like, I couldn't make it through the first season of that shit, man. Like, yo, when they start raping the boy and the thing, I say, yo, what is going on? This is too much. I can't, this is not entertaining to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I like crime and shit like that, but I fuck with The Wire, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Stuff that's like, I don't want to say tame, but more like cerebral, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to be shocked in my television viewing, you know what I'm saying? So I need like some cool shit to watch. Send me some suggestions, comment, whatever, it's all good. Oh yeah, we building up over here, bro. So shout out to everybody on the team. Shout out to B-Rab. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to Danza. Shout out to Kato. Shout out to Gio. You know what I'm saying? So we're working together. We get some things going. So I got an Instagram, Trip to Orlando on IG. TRIP period, the number 2, and then Orlando. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be dropping some reels and shit soon. And you know what I'm saying? We working, bro. We get the lights, the thumbnail, and clean up back here. Like it's coming together, bro. So I appreciate all y'all rocking with me. It's a vibe every single time, and let's just keep it going.
Feeling the weight.
Let's do
like
it.
A suitcase of stress.
Come on.
Time to pack it up and leave the mess.
Let's go.
Hop on a ride to a brighter glow. It's not just a trip, it's the ultimate show. Trip to Orlando, the getaway you need. Laughs and reviews at lightning speed. Trip to Orlando where fun runs free. Your ticket to the stars and celebrity.
Appreciate y'all.